Hey, I'm Mr. Hartwig,
And I'm Mr. Chen.
and welcome back to our third video and final video in our 3-video series on IB exams. How not to fail IB Biology HL Paper 3.
Alright, I'll take it away. The first part that must be noted is that Paper 3 is an hour and 15 minutes long, and with 45 marks, so 45 possible marks you can get. So this means you can spend roughly a minute and a half for every mark. So keep that in mind while you're doing those questions.
Yeah. So for my first tip, I'd like to start by saying that unlike Paper 2, I think for Paper 3, you don't need a super deep understanding of the concepts. You can just get a general sense of what's happening, worst case scenario. If you're in a rush for time, just make sure you understand the basics, because for Paper 3, it's short answer questions. There's only one long answer question, so you can just say the basics, and I think that can get you by.
Right, I agree. This is not to say that you shouldn't know the topic you're studying. For us, it was neuroscience, by the way. So this, we're really gonna end up talking about a lot of neuroscience here. If your teacher did teach you a different topic, I would personally suggest just watching a different video. But speaking on what more of Mr. Hartwig was saying over here, when you are actually studying the option, I would make sure to actually know what you're studying. For us, we covered neurodevelopment, the brain functions, eye, ear, and ecology, which is what me and Mr. Hartwig decided as like animal behavior based off many different factors.
Yeah, and my next tip for you all is to make sure that you read the questions carefully, especially for Paper 3, because when I was taking it, I almost got caught up at one point. I didn't read the question carefully enough. I almost wrote down the dependent variable instead of the independent variable. So remember that they are trying to trick you, and that you should just be sure to read the questions carefully.
Alright, I personally wouldn't use trick you as the term here, but something that must be noted that instead of data analysis like Paper 2, this test, those lab-based questions, those data-based questions would usually revolve more around lab setup and improvements. So things like, what was the independent variable? How would you make the study better? How would you choose how you would share the study out? And how would you use the study to conduct new experiments? Those are things you must know how to do for Paper 3 here.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. And as always, our best and final tip is to just do practice papers. You know, that's just the obvious thing to do. And you can always, like Mr. Chen has said in the previous videos, you can find practice tests and answer keys online very easily. That's super easy to do. All you have to do is just search it up. Yeah, that's it from Mr. Chen and myself. Thank you all for watching. We will be dropping one final video on the kidney, so be tuned for that. But that's all for this video.
Thank you, guys.